and welcome to the live play-by-play reaction stream of the XFL Week 9. We've got the Battlehawks and Sea Dragons. Sorry, we're slightly late. We were expecting the game to be delayed due to the other game looking like it's going to overtime. However, the game has started. It's the Sea Dragons that have got the ball on their first drive. Just about set up a second down and short. So the other game has gone to overtime. But we are with the Battlehawks and Sea Dragons game. It's 2nd and 3. So it's trips left formation out the shotgun for the Sea Dragons. It's a handoff up the middle. Just about makes a first down. So a good start for the Sea Dragons. A very important game this for both of these two teams. If the Battlehawks win today, the Battlehawks will go through to the semi-finals to play against the DC Defenders. If the Sea Dragons win today, it would mean that both teams would be tied at 6 and 3 records, and it'd go on to next week to determine which of the two teams would go through. So we're 1st and 10 for the Sea Dragons. They're on their own 36-yard line. Snap back to Danucci. But there looks like there is a flag. "12 men on defense." That's going to add 5 yards on. So snap back to Danucci. 1st and 5. Fires it in to receiver. It's dropped though. Falls incomplete. That'll set up a 2nd and 5 on their own 41-yard line. Danucci's been a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde quarterback here in the XFL this season. Made some great throws, thrown for a lot of passing yards, but also has a couple of interceptions in him. So we'll see if he continues that today, or is he able to lift the Sea Dragons to a win and a chance still at getting through to that championship game. Spread formation. Snap back to Danucci, looking to pass, jumps it off to the running back. Managed to gain about 2 yards. It's going to set up a 3rd and short. So 3rd and short for the Sea Dragons coming up. Just 2.5 minutes into this game. So we've got Anthony Becht trying to get the crowd up and roaring again. 35,000 plus in there again for the Battlehawks. And the Sea Dragons try and get a timeout in there just in time before the play clock runs out. So that's why we're on a short break. Just want to say welcome to Adam. Thank you very much for joining us again, Adam. And also Dan. Fingers crossed that the Battlehawks can get the job done today. But it's going to be a tough game. If the Sea Dragons can play like they have played over the last 6 weeks, well, really all season, they've been unfortunate. They could have quite easily found themselves at 8-0, the Sea Dragons. 2 close, unfortunate losses in the first 2 weeks. Then went on a 5-game winning run. And then obviously lost the shootout game last week against the Defenders. So should be in for a really good game, this one, which feels like a sort of quarter-final as to only one of these two teams are going to actually get through. So 3rd and 3 coming up. It's an empty backfield for Danucci. They send the blitz. Free rusher hits Danucci, but he gets the ball out. It's complete. An 8-yard completion for the first down. Had a free rusher coming up in his face, Danucci, but got the ball out. Hit his receiver right between the numbers and a first down for the Sea Dragons. So a good opening drive for them. So just into the Battlehawks territory now. Snap back to Danucci. Quick fired out to on the screen to his receiver. Taken down after gaining 5 yards. So if you are just joining us, welcome to the NFL UK Ops Live play-by-play reaction stream of the St. Louis Battlehawks, who are 6-2 against the Seattle Sea Dragons, 5-3. It's week 9 of the XFL, and this is a massive North Division matchup. If the Battlehawks win today, they get a playoff spot. If the Sea Dragons win today, it takes it right through to next week as to which of these two teams joins the Defenders. So 2nd and 5. Danucci's under pressure, scrambles out of it, scrambling out to his left, throws the ball high and out of bounds. Did well to get away from the sack. Battlehawks, 3.5-point favourites in this game. I'd have called it a lot closer myself. We'll have to go with predictions in a second. So it's 3rd and 5. Snap back to Danucci. He's looking to pass. He's got time to pass. Finds his receiver right at the sticks, and it is going to be another first down. And they keep this drive rolling. So let us know in the comments what's your thoughts on today's game. Who's going to win? Give us your score predictions as well. I'll put my score prediction in the chat in a second as well. We'll see how this game turns out. So 1st and 10. The Sea Dragons still with the ball. Had the ball for 5.5 minutes to open this game. At the 38-yard line of the Battlehawks. Snap back to Danucci. It's a handoff this time on the sweep right. And taken down after gaining 6 or 7 yards. As fair as just come on. Thank you very much for giving us the update as well. The DC won in overtime 28-26. So that means that the Defenders then are through and will host whoever wins between these two teams in the end as well. And it's another quick pass from Danucci, completion to Pearson. Steps out of bounds for another first down. So the Renegades did well in that game against the Defenders, came back 17 points unanswered to tie the game up, take it to overtime. But DC obviously did just enough to win by 2 points in overtime. So 1st and 10 for the Sea Dragons. Empty backfield for Danucci. Starts scrambling forward, fires it in to his receiver, 13 yards downfield. It's caught right at the sideline. And that's Green that's caught it. It's going to be another first down. And it's 1st and goal. So couldn't ask for a better opening drive, the Sea Dragons, in this one. Great throw, great catch. Got 2 feet in bounds. They only required 1. So it sets up a 1st and goal now for the Sea Dragons. Trips right formation. It's a delayed handoff up the middle, makes a move, makes a spin move and steps into the end zone for the touchdown. A couple of shifty moves. And the Sea Dragons are on the board first in this one. And that has quietened that St. Louis crowd right down. So Hammond's made a shifty juke move to the right, found space and a spin move to beat a defender before stepping into the end zone pretty much untouched. And the Sea Dragons leading this one 6-0. They're going to go for 2 extra points as well on this one. They have been known to consistently go for 3. We're going the middle of the road here with going for 2 extra points. They're 4 for 14 on 3-point extra points, so they've obviously decided maybe that's not the correct route. Here we go. From the 5-yard line to see if they can add an extra 2 onto their 6 points. It's a handoff to Lindsay, running towards the pylon, and he's in. Right into the corner. So the former NFL running back, Philip Lindsay, goes into the corner. And the Sea Dragons lead 8-0 over the Battlehawks. Possessed the ball for close to 7.5 minutes, almost half of the first quarter. Driven down the field. And finished it off with the touchdown run from Hammond, then the 2-point conversion from Philip Lindsay. And now we'll have to see what the Battlehawks can do. But a great start for this Sea Dragons team.
You're flipping back to ESPN now. In that little break. No sound. Are you muted?
No.
Go and shout me. Shout hello. No, I can hear you.
Right then, so I'll put our score predictions in. I think we're going to be in for a score fest in this one.
ESPN.
I'm going to go with the Battlehawks winning this one. We're going 30-28 in this one. So I'm going for Battlehawks 30-28. I think they get the job done at home. Pharaoh went for Battlehawks 28-20. So let us know what your score predictions are. Who do you think is going to win this one? A great start for the Sea Dragons. The Battlehawks have been slow starters throughout this XFL season as well. They can't afford to get too far behind against this Sea Dragons team who have been red hot for most of the season as well. So as Vero said and Adam said, the DC defenders beat the Arlington Renegades in overtime by 2 points. It means that the Renegades are not yet through to the playoffs, and it will go to next week. That was after the Brahmas held off the Guardians yesterday. The Brahmas beat the Guardians 25-23, which still gives them an outside chance next week of pipping the Renegades. Of course, in this one, if the Battlehawks win today, they do get through to the playoffs, where they will have to go and play against the DC Defenders. If the Sea Dragons win, though, it moves on to next week, as they will both be on a 6-3 record. It'll be determined next week as to who goes through from there. The Battlehawks do play the lowly Guardians next week, but the Guardians have proven as they beat the DC Defenders and handed them their only loss. Any game, just like any Sunday, anything is possible. So Andy's put his prediction in for this one. He's gone for Sea Dragons 31-29 in overtime. So will we have another overtime game this week after the DC Defenders just beat the Renegades in overtime? So let us know what your thoughts and predictions are for this game. Let us know in the comments. Sea Dragons got off to a fantastic start in this one. Driven down the field, 7.5 minutes drive to score the touchdown and 2-point conversion as well. So just ready to kick it back off. Returnable from the 10-yard line. Up the left sideline, eventually hit out of bounds right around the 29-yard line, and that's where the Battlehawks will be starting their first drive. They've got AJ McCarron back at quarterback after he missed last week. They had Tiano in at quarterback last week, who did a decent job, made a good couple of throws. Not afraid to lower his shoulder when running. Did throw a couple of costly end zone interceptions, but the Battlehawks did get the win. So what can McCarron do in this offense? Can they get off to a good start in this one? Snap back to McCarron. He's looking to pass. Lost it deep down the left. Seems to be a miscommunication. The receiver stopped running. He cut back on a hitch 15 yards downfield. And the throw went 25 yards down the left sideline to nobody. So he snapped back to McCarron. It's a handoff to Hill up the middle. Makes a couple of moves, but he's tackled down after gaining 3 yards. He's going to set up a 3rd and 7. So it's not Tiano that's in at backup quarterback. So it's Tiano obviously stepped in last week for AJ McCarron while he was injured. But Tiano was injured himself now. So I think he said the backup would be Wilkins. So the Battlehawks be hoping that AJ is able to stay healthy in this one. Empty backfield for the Battlehawks now. 4 receivers out to the right. Fired in from McCarron. It's caught 10 yards downfield. It's going to be a first down for the Battlehawks. So good to get that first down, especially after the Sea Dragons went on such a good opening drive. It's important that they hit back early. They don't want to be falling behind. Especially if the Sea Dragons are going to play lengthy drives. 7.5 minutes, that opening drive for the touchdown. So it's 1st and 10. They're on their own 45-yard line. Trips left formation out the shotgun for McCarron. It's a handoff to Hill on the sweep. Makes a couple of moves. And it wasn't Hill, so it was a receiver coming back in. Makes a couple of moves, and it is going to be a first down for the Battlehawks as well. So it was Jennings. So Gary Jennings, who had that excellent fake punt touchdown last week. I think he hit 22.5 miles an hour. I think he hit after he caught the ball on the fake punt. So it's an empty backfield for McCarron. 4 receivers out to the left. He looks to the right, and it's complete 15 yards downfield before it's pushed out of bounds. And it's Aitman. So really good start for the Battlehawks. We could be in for hopefully, a score fest, plenty of points. And watching both offenses go back and forth. Great back shoulder throw from AJ McCarron there. So 1st and 10, just outside the red zone now. Fired out on the... Fired out on the screen. So fake handoff to the running back. Fired it out to the receiver that had motioned out to the left. Read perfectly by Thompson of the Sea Dragon. As soon as the receiver caught it, bang. Hit straight away. The 2 blocking receivers out in front, he just split them. And had a clean shot straight on to Shepherd. He did very well to hold on to the ball, Shepherd, there. Great hit from Bryce Thompson. So empty backfield again for McCarron. That was a 3-yard loss. It's incomplete. Was looking for Hill. He hit Hill in the hands, but then bobbled out. That's going to set up a 3rd and 13 now for the Battlehawks. Definitely still in field goal range at the moment. Hagman, their kicker, had a 59-yarder a couple of weeks back. So 3rd and 13 from the 27-yard line of the Sea Dragons. An empty backfield for McCarron. Snap back to him. Quick pass. Oh, I thought it was intercepted. I thought that was going completely the other way there. Trying to set up a screen. Completely read by the Sea Dragons defender. The ball seemed to disappear for a second. I expected the Sea Dragons defender to have it in his arms and he was gone. That was easily a pick six had he caught it. So it's going to be a field goal attempt for the Battlehawks. Be nice to see a replay of that if they can sort that out. So 45-yard field goal attempt from the left hash for Hageman. The kick is up. It looks good. It is good. Straight down the middle. So the Battlehawks do get on the board. Important to do so. In a game where it is going to be back and forth and plenty of points you would expect in this one as well. Could count themselves a bit fortunate that wasn't an interception. And worse, it would have most certainly been a pick six as well. But as it was, it fell incomplete and Hageman knocks it through from 45. And so both teams score on their opening drives. So I'll just add the DC defenders score onto the results now. So they, of course, advanced to 8-1 on the season as well. The Renegades slipped to 4-5, and that gives the San Antonio Brahmas an outside chance now of sneaking into the playoffs, where they'll play against the Houston Roughnecks. There we go. Got the result there. So this is obviously the last game of week 9. So results that we've had this week, in week 9, we've had the Houston Roughnecks, who beat the Las Vegas Vipers 28-21 yesterday. With the Renegades losing as well. The Roughnecks obviously have topped that division in the South. And look, the strongest team in the South Division for much of the season as well. We had the San Antonio Brahmas beat the Orlando Guardians yesterday, 25-23 as well. We've said already that gives the San Antonio Brahmas a slight chance of sneaking in to the playoffs. The DC Defenders came out on top in overtime against the Renegades earlier, 28-26. So it's interesting games next week now. The San Antonio Brahmas host the DC Defenders, top of the North Division, and the Renegades host the Houston Roughnecks, who are obviously top of the South Division. So not easy games for either of those two. You've got the Battlehawks hosting the Orlando Guardians next week and the Sea Dragons hosting the Vipers. So the kick is up. Returnable from the 13-yard line for the Sea Dragons. Makes a move up the middle. Eventually tackled down around the 33-yard line. And that's where the Sea Dragons are going to start their second possession. So here we go. Can the Sea Dragons follow up that excellent opening drive? 7.5-minute opening drive, capped off with the touchdown run from Hammond and the 2-point conversion from Lindsay. So 1st and 10. Snap back to Nucci, fired out to his receiver. And it's caught after gaining 6-7 yards through the air. So another good throw from DiNucci. Who has had a very good season, just seems to have a bit of a lapse in concentration or tries to force one too many at times, DiNucci, and he's been picked off a number of times this season. So he sets for 2nd and 3, just under 2 minutes left in this first quarter now. Snap back to DiNucci. Looks down the right sideline. Receiver goes up, unable to connect though. So it's Veazey going up, but the ball goes through his hands. Incomplete. It's going to set up a 3rd and 3 now. See if the Battlehawks can wrestle back some momentum in this game for their defense. So it's 3rd and 3. Play clock's ticking down. It's at 3 seconds. 2. He gets the ball off. Under pressure, DiNucci fires deep down the left sideline.
Flag.
And there is a flag. Pearson almost brings it in. So see what the flag is. So it's illegal contact by the Battlehawks defender. It's going to be an automatic 1st down. Oh, yeah. It's going to get called all day, that one. At least 10 yards downfield. And and that would probably been called as well.
Smack him out. Don't.
So we've got 1st and 10. It's a handoff up the middle to Lindsay. Good hard running, gains 4 or 5 yards on the ground. Ball just inside the Seattle Sea Dragons territory now. So it's going to set up a 2nd and 7. So a slight delay, must be an injury. Clock going again. This potentially going to be the last play of the first quarter. It's 2nd and 7 for the Sea Dragons. Just inside their own territory. Trips left formation. It's a delayed handoff. Philip Lindsay breaks the tackle but can't break the second. It looks like it's a loss of a yard. And that's how the first quarter is going to end, with the Sea Dragons leading this one. So at the end of the first quarter, the Sea Dragons lead 8-3 over the Battlehawks. Only on their 2nd drive of this game, after a huge 7.5-minute first drive that resulted in the rushing touchdown for Hammond and the 2-point conversion run from Philip Lindsay. The Battlehawks were able to answer back with a field goal, a 45-yard field goal for Hageman. And now the Sea Dragons are facing 3rd down right, up around midfield when we start the second quarter. Hi, Ron. Thank you very much for joining us. Let us know who your XFL team is and who you fancy in this game today. We're back in the Battlehawks to win and get through to the playoffs. Or do you think the Sea Dragons come out on top and delay it through to next week as to which of these two teams is going to join the DC Defenders? Adam's also given his prediction as well. He's gone for 28-24 to the Sea Dragons. Could absolutely happen. We'll look like we're in for a tight ball game. Like most of the XFL games that we've had this season, majority of them have been one scores, obviously helped by the fact that 9 points is now a one-score game in the XFL. But it's just amazing how quickly things can turn. At 2 minutes remaining in the Renegades and DC Defenders game, they were down 11 points, scored the touchdown, converted the 4th and 15, went down and kicked the field goal to take it to overtime, and almost obviously knocked off the DC Defenders. So things can happen and change very quickly in the XFL. And it gives obviously people time at the end of games to try and make the comebacks as well. I think that's one rule that the NFL will not adopt is the 4th and 15. It's too easy. It's too easy compared to an onside kick, and it takes away a bit too much of the game, I think, if they're to bring that in. Because as it has happened in the XFL a week or so ago, on the 4th and 15 attempts, they got a holding penalty, a pass interference, and an automatic first down. It was way too easy to convert a 4th and 15. So I think that's something the NFL won't bring in. What I would like to see the NFL bring in would definitely be the openness of the officiating and the replay booth. And you can see those discussions that happen. I think that would add a lot to the NFL, and it would stop all this scripted NFL talk. So fingers crossed for positive changes like that, but I don't see the 4th and 15 happening. So it's 3rd down for the Sea Dragons to open up this second quarter. Look to see if they can add to their 8-3 lead. And it is caught. And it could be going all the way. Steps inside. That is close. And it's been given for the touchdown for the Sea Dragons. 55 yards pass from DiNucci, who doesn't seem to be moving. There seems to be a flag. And it's going to come off the board. It's against the offense. $15-yard penalty for a face mask on the offensive lineman of the Sea Dragons. Chalks off the 55-yard touchdown.
Challenge that.
That's a tough call as well. It doesn't look like he did grab the face mask. The helmet comes off. Like a lot of NFL players, they wear their helmets very loose and not strapped up tight. The Battlehawks defender's helmet popped off, but he wasn't grabbing the face mask. You might want to challenge that if you're Sea Dragons.
Challenge. Come on. No, I didn't need to challenge it.
So they're saying he grabbed the collar, apparently, and that still counts.
Oh, really?
So it's 3rd and 17. It's a handoff up the middle. Breaks 2 tackles. Oh, and he's close to a first down. Looks like he's about 3 yards short. And a decision now for the Sea Dragons. Looks like they are going to punt, though. Was a great effort on 3rd and 17. Almost got the first down. But the Sea Dragons are going to punt. They're just inside the Battlehawks territory. Well, it's Austin Prohl that's back there to return. And the kick is up. It's fair course right around the 8-yard line of the Battlehawks. So a bit of luck there for the Battlehawks on that last drive. Sea Dragons can count themselves a bit unlucky. The face mask got called, but it definitely wasn't a face mask. I think they changed it to a grabbing of the collar of the jersey. But that took a 55-yard touchdown pass from DiNucci to Veazey off the board. And the Battlehawks now have a chance to go up the field to at least cut into this lead, if not, take the lead. They'll have to go a fair distance, though. They're on their own 8-yard line. It's empty backfield for McCarron. Snap back to McCarron. Looking for his receiver, Gary Jennings. Unable to catch it, though. He's going to set up a 2nd and 10 now. We'll want to try and get some yardage back here. They want to be punting from inside their own end zone. So 2nd and 10 now from their own 8-yard line. It's a handoff this time to Hill. Looks to have gained about a yard, Hill. Trying to find a gap, but there is a flag as well. Looks like it could be against the Battlehawks, this penalty as well. That was like a country strut, that weren't it? Leg whip. Personal foul for a leg whip. That's the first time I've definitely heard that one. I've heard of tripping, but not the leg whip. But that penalty's declined. It's a set up a 3rd and 9 now for their own 9-yard line. Empty backfield for McCarron. He's got 4 receivers out to the right. Snap back to him. Under pressure. Lost the ball to the left. It's complete to Aitman. Makes a player miss. Goes up the left sideline looking for blocking. Eventually taken down right around the 45-yard line. So it's a slight delay in the stream there. But it's a 1st and 10, a huge gain for the Battlehawks. You see, the Battlehawks run that play quite a lot. They stack a lot of receivers out to one side. And then McCarron targets the one-on-one to the other side. It's the same formation again here. Snap back to McCarron. Looks down the left sideline. Just a bit too high this time for Aitman. And that's going to set up a 2nd and 10 for the Battlehawks. So clock ticking around, 11 and a half minutes left in the 2nd quarter. Again, it's an empty backfield. 3 receivers out to his right for McCarron this time. Ball just inside their own territory. Snap back to McCarron. Fired in on the screen. Oh, and he's hit hard, Shepherd. Gains 5 yards. Knocked hard to the ground. That's the 2nd big hit that he's taken in this game. But does hold on to the ball. So 3rd and 5 now for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Just inside Sea Dragons territory. Fired into Prohl. It's caught right at the sticks for the first down for the Battlehawks. And they keep the drive alive. Seemed too easy that time for Prohl. Defenders were well backed off. Quick 5-yard in. And a conversion for another first down for this Battlehawks team. So first down. It's play action pass for McCarron. Steps forward. Lost it deep down the left sideline. It's caught at the 15 by Shepherd. And fights forward. Dives towards the end zone. And the touchdown has been given by the referees. I think they'll take another look at it. But for now, the touchdown has been given. And that is the Darius Shepherd. Caught it around the 15, 16-yard line. Turned on the jets and dove from about 5 yards out. Stretched out his arm for to break the plane. So it'll be interesting to see if he did get in. But for now, they've called it a touchdown. Oh, it's going to be close. I don't know if his elbow came down. There's right elbow. I think he's just short. I think his right elbow's down as he goes to stretch with his left. I think his right elbow comes down first. Oh, they have given the touchdown.
Too many people arguing in the crowd.
I think part of the problem with the XFL, which obviously they haven't got the same budget as the NFL, they haven't got as many cameras or as many camera angles as the NFL has got. But the Battlehawks do now take the lead in this one, 9-8. And they are going to also go for 2 extra points. The 8 of 15 from this range this season. Play action, fired towards Prohl in the end zone, right in the corner. Hit him in the hands, but he's unable to bring it in. Looked like a guaranteed 2-point conversion there. But Prohl unable to bring it in. So we've got a 1-point game now. The Battlehawks lead 9-8 over the Sea Dragons. But very entertaining so far. Not a lot of answers on defense. And plenty of points. Of course, the Sea Dragons had the ball in the end zone on their last possession. Only to be taken away by what was called at the time a face mask. Meant that they had to punt the ball to the Battlehawks. The Battlehawks have gone 92 yards on that drive, which finished off with the Shepherd touchdown catch. But a failed 2-point conversion on the pass looking for Prohl in the corner. Means that we've got a Battlehawks 9, Sea Dragons 8 scoreline. So we'll see what the Sea Dragons have on offer in this next possession that they've got. So let's know what your thoughts are on the XFL. Obviously, we're getting towards the end of the season, which seems to have absolutely flown by now. Let us know what your thoughts are. Things that you liked about it, things that you've perhaps not liked about it. Things that the NFL could look to introduce. I mean, I talked a little bit earlier about the 4th and 15 and about the communication between the officials and the booth and being able to see those things would be nice. But we'll see see what the NFL does bring in. But let us know what your thoughts are on the XFL. You think it has got a big future? It's just going to be interesting to see how it does play out. If anybody does know that's watching how it works with contracts and things, let us know in the comments, because I'm not completely sure myself. Obviously, they signed up for this 1 year. I think it's $5,000 a week they get paid. Because it was discussed only a couple of weeks back that AJ McCarron turned down a $4 million contract in the NFL to be backup, to take a $60,000 contract to play week in, week out in the XFL. Just because he said that he wants to play for his kids and he wants his kids to watch him play. So, big decision there, but I just don't know how it works, obviously, with contracts. Some of these players are going to get an opportunity to be on an NFL roster come pre-season as well. So I'm not sure how it's going to work for next season. Sure, they're not going to have to do massive amount of drafts and things again. So you have to let us know if you do know. So it's about ready for the Battlehawks to kick back to the Sea Dragons. It's returnable from about the 3-yard line. Makes move inside. And is eventually brought down right around the 20-yard line.
When the XFL season finishes, we should do a video. Too good for the XFL. People out like Thornton and Danucci, and just do a big list of people that should be good enough to play in the NFL.
Yeah, write that down.
I'll just write too good for NFL.
Cheers, Adam. Thank you very much for the compliment. Much appreciated. And again, much appreciated for you joining us every week for the XFL. Hopefully you can come and join us when we get to the real business in September time with the NFL. We're on for plenty of live streams of those games. So hopefully you can come and join us for those as well. But your support is much appreciated, Adam. Thank you very much.
Is he a Panthers fan?
So 1st and 10 for the Sea Dragons. Fired out to his receiver on the screen. Nice game, 4 yards through the air. So that's Josh Gordon with the completion. Been fairly quiet in this game so far, Josh Gordon. So 2nd and 6 for the Sea Dragons. They're on their own 24-yard line. Empty backfield for Danucci. Snaps back. He gets hit hard from behind, taken down for the sack. Never saw it coming. Hit from behind. And a 6-yard loss on that play. He's going to set up a 3rd and 13. And now the crowds, you can really hear them in that stadium now. The Battlehawks with the 1-point lead. And that big hit and big sack on Danucci now. So 3rd and 13. Snap back to Danucci. Looks past, scrambles out to his left, trying to buy some time. Ends up throwing the ball, flips it out towards the sticks, but he's hit. He's asking for a flag. He's on his knees. Must have been hit. He got hit hard onto his back, and then he's asking for a flag. The flag didn't come, though. So it sets up a 4th and 13. It's going to be a punt. And the punt is up. It's returnable from around the 32-yard line. Work to do for Prohl. Great tackle. Doesn't gain much back there. And so it means the Battlehawks can start from their own 32-yard line on the next possession. So there was a flag on that last play as well. So personal foul, blindside block. So as I said, 1st and 10 now for the Battlehawks, a bit further back than they would have been. Shotgun formation from McCarron on his own 17-yard line. It's a handoff up the middle. Oof, he's hit hard. We've seen some great hits in this game so far. Gains 3 yards up the middle, but then completely upended. That's just join us, Star. Love the XFL. Let us know who your XFL team is. And let us know what your thoughts are on this game. Do you think it's going to be Battlehawks or Sea Dragons win? Let us know in the comments. But thank you very much for joining us. So 2nd and 7 for the Battlehawks. Snap back to McCarron. Under pressure and goes down. Hit from behind. Tried to buy time with his legs in the pocket. Unable to do so. It looks like a 5-yard loss on the sack. So set up a 3rd down now. 3rd and long. So an empty backfield for McCarron. 4 receivers to the left. Will he throw it to the right? He does. He throws it behind his receiver. It falls incomplete and it's going to be a punt. So now the defenses seem to have stepped up in this game. There's a lot of offense for the first 20 minutes or so of this game. But a couple of good stops on defense. It's going to be a punt for the Battlehawks. And the punt is up. It's returnable from the 40-yard line. Makes a move. Eventually pushed out of bounds after the 5 yards return. But a good starting field position for the Sea Dragons offense. Just under 6 minutes left in this first half as well. I mean, what can be said, which is why we're on the game break here, is any of the 4 teams that do make it through to the playoffs, it absolutely could be won by any of those 4 teams. It's that close, and the games has proven a couple of weeks back when the Guardians knocked off the undefeated DC Defenders. The games have been that close that any of the 4 teams get through could end up winning. I mean, the Houston Roughnecks have pretty much dominated that South Division, 6-0 in their division. But in a one-off game against either the Brahmas or the Renegades, you just never know. Then obviously the north side, much stronger. DC Defenders obviously through between the Battlehawks and the Sea Dragons as to who's going to face those. The DC Defenders have beaten the Battlehawks twice this season. And also the Sea Dragons as well. Which means whichever team, the Battlehawks or the Sea Dragons, that get through to play against the Defenders, will be looking for revenge. And it's very difficult. You see it in the NFL, very difficult to beat a team 3 times in the same season. So we should have 2 fantastic matchups, whoever those 2 teams are. One of the games is going to be played on the 29th of April on the Saturday. I believe that's the South matchup. Then we've got the North matchup on the Sunday the 30th of April. There's going to be a week off then before the championship game that's played 2 weeks later on Saturday the 13th of May. And that'll be it for the XFL. We, of course, even though we're obviously doing this with the XFL, we, of course, produce NFL content. Obviously, it's on the build-up to the NFL draft, which is in just over 10 days away. We are going to be doing a video this week on our mock draft and where we think the players are going to go in the first round. So make sure you keep an eye out. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell as well. You'll be notified anytime that we drop a video or we go live for our live streams as well. Really help us out as well if you could hit that subscribe button. We're aiming to try and get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the XFL season. So I think we're just over 40 short at the minute. So if you're not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. So it's 1st and 10 for the Sea Dragons, right around halfway. Snap back to Danucci. Hits his receiver's hands, sort of bobs up in the air, but fortunately for the Sea Dragons, it falls incomplete. And that'll set up 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10. Just inside their own half. Empty backfield for Danucci. Fired out to the right sideline. It's caught. Looks like a 4-yard gain. So we'll get a 3rd down right around midfield. It's a good catch from Pearson. Reaching out. Can hear that crowd getting loud again for the Battlehawks. It's a 3rd and 6. Again, an empty backfield for Danucci. He's got 3 receivers out to his left. Snap back to Danucci. Time to throw steps forward. Looks like he'll try and run for it. Gets hit from behind, but pushed over the line to gain. So it will be a 1st down by the looks of it. But he is hurt. I think he got landed on as he went down. He's sort of hobbling. He doesn't want the attention. Sort of bent over. The clock does continue to run. He wants the play call in. It doesn't look like he's going to get there in time. There's only 9 seconds left. I think he'd been better just going down.
What?
Seems to be some confusion as to what's going on here. Danucci's just like, what?
4th and 1. He did
now he's not. They've said it's a 4th and 1, not a 1st down. To Sea Dragons now had to take a timeout. So showing a replay of that. Scrambles forward. Gets hit from behind and landed on. Might have been better just staying down, Danucci. I think he might have got winded. But it looks like they've marked him half a yard short. So half a yard. They're going for the Sea Dragons as well. Snap back to Danucci. Fires deep down the left sideline. He has got to receive. It's Josh Gordon. He's caught. And he's taken down around the 2-yard line. It's going to be first and goal for the Sea Dragons. Great location on the pass from Danucci. And you know that Josh Gordon's got star quality. He's shown it in the NFL. He's shown it in the XFL this season as well. Times his jump. Locates the ball well. And he's taken down just 2 yards short of the touchdown line. So first and goal from the 2. Danucci scrambles out to his right. Fires back across his body, and it is caught for the touchdown for the Sea Dragons. And that gives the Sea Dragons the lead again in this one. 14-9. So see how many extra points the Sea Dragons are going to go for this time. Good scramble from Danucci, and then throws back across his body to Veazey. And they are going to go from the right hash. You're going to go for 2 extra points. Shotgun formation. Trips left. Snap back to Danucci. Under pressure. Sidearms it towards the corner, back corner of the left end zone. It falls incomplete. We've got some chirping between Pearson and the Battlehawks defender. The referee's getting there to split that up. But the Sea Dragons lead now 14-9. With just over 3 minutes left in the first half. Just lined up ready for the Sea Dragons to kick the ball back to the Battlehawks. Returnable from the 15 for Shepherd. Managed to get it back to around the 25-yard line. There is a flag, though. So hold it on the return. 10-yard penalty against the Battlehawks. We've had quite a lot of penalties called on them in this game. The commentator said earlier that they're the least penalised team in the XFL, but they've had a lot called on them today. So from their own 12-yard line now, the Battlehawks. It's an empty backfield for McCarron. He's got 3 receivers out to his left. Fires it that way, looking for the screen, and it gets hit hard again. That screen just has not worked today for the Battlehawks. Read perfectly again by the Sea Dragons, who burst again straight through the block of the two receivers out there, supposed to be blocking on this screen. And he's blown the play up again. That was Thompson again. Same player from earlier. Sets for 2nd and 11. Empty backfield, 4 receivers to the right of McCarron. He throws to his left. It is caught by Aitman. Looks like to have gained of 6 or 7 yards on that, which can set up a 3rd down. So that's going to take us right down to the 2-minute warning now. Haven't called Hakeem Butler's name in this one so far. Big-bodied wide receiver for the St. Louis Battlehawks. AJ McCann's been unable to get him the ball so far in this one. But big 3rd down coming up, because if they don't convert it, the Sea Dragons will have plenty of time to add to their lead before half-time. As Adam said, choice football, not too easy. Football is absolutely better to have some football than no football at all. And I love the XFL and USFL, but the USFL is better playing level. Not something I've watched, in all honesty, the USFL. And it's not something we're going to cover this year with us having covered the NFL and the XFL. But something we're certainly looking to for future seasons, depending on what happens with the XFL. And if the USFL is still a success moving forwards as well. It should be. I know it's a well-organised league, the USFL. But we have got the, obviously the NFL, we've got the draft coming up within the next 2 weeks. So big for those NFL teams and the college players coming through. Interesting to see where the Panthers go with that pick. Is it going to be, obviously it's going to be, you'd expect it to be a quarterback. But who is it going to be? Are they going to go Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson? Be interested to see what their thoughts are with that one. So anyone put DC, their namesake is so corrupt. I suppose it down. Just remind us again, Adam, which NFL team is it that you support? So we're over here. We're Patriots fans. Interested to see what they're going to do with the 14th overall pick. Knowing Bill Belichick, he'll probably trade backwards. Personally, I hope he drafts Zay Flowers. I think that's the type of offensive weapon that the Patriots need. They need a shifty receiver that Mac Jones can look to on 3rd downs. So that's what I'm hoping that they do. They've got links. They've had links with Zay Flowers, so that's what I'm hoping that they draft in the 1st round. So back in this one, it's 3rd and 4.
It's not a list of karaoke song like that. If you don't bring me flower.
So 3rd and 4 for the Battlehawks. They're on their own 18-yard line. Empty backfield for McCarron. He's got 4 receivers out to the right. He's tended to pick the one-on-one matchup to the left when throwing it. See if he does the same again. He does, and he connects with Aitman again. Just don't seem to have an answer for that, the Sea Dragons. They can't cope with the fact of that one-on-one matchup. to the left-hand side. McCarron's completed 3 or 4 passes that way from that formation. They're in that formation again here from their own 32. Snap back to McCarron. Again, throws it to Aitman. It's caught, but he slips after just gaining 2 yards. The play clock will continue. Still all 3 timeouts, the Battlehawks. So 2nd and 8, still same formation. Snap back to McCarron. Looking to the left again to Aitman. 3 plays in a row. Same formation, same throw. This time it falls incomplete. It was out of reach. It sets up a 3rd and 8. So 3rd and 8. Just over a minute left in this first half now. Same formation again. Empty backfield. 4 receivers out to his right. It's a false start against Austin Prohl. Oh, it's a false start as well. Sorry, a false start and a delay of game. Either way, it's a 5-yard penalty against the Battlehawks. So 6 penalty against the Battlehawks. So it's 3rd and 13 from their own 29-yard line. Same formation. Snap back to McCarron. Throws to the left. Caught by Aitman. Right at the sticks. The defender seemed to fall down. And it is a 1st down with exactly 1 minute left on the game clock. They have to figure out a way to stop that. The Sea Dragons they've run the same play 4 times in a row. The Battlehawks do go into a different formation, spread formation out the shotgun this time from their own 42-yard line. Snap back to McCarron. Plenty of time to throw. Throws deep down the middle of the field. Has got a receiver breaking through, but it's intercepted. It floated. It's caught by the safety who gets up. It's returnable. It's at the 30, at the 40. Breaks a couple of tackles and returns the ball all the way up to their own 47-yard line. So McCarron looking for Gary Jennings down the middle, who had broken free. Wasn't enough distance on the throw, though, which gave time for the Sea Dragon safety to get back there and catch it. He also had time to get up and then return it as well. So a great catch over the shoulder. And now the Sea Dragons have got an excellent opportunity now to add to their 5-point lead. So 44 seconds left in the first half now. Snap back to Danucci. Looking to pass. Throws down the left sideline. And it is caught for an 8-yard gain. The clock is going to continue to run. Clock under 30 seconds now. 1 timeout remaining, the Sea Dragons. It's an empty backfield again for Danucci. Snap back to him. Looking to pass. Throws deep down the left sideline. And it is caught by Josh Gordon. Looked like it was going to be intercepted, but Josh Gordon comes down with it and steps out of bounds. There is a flag, though. And it's holding against the offense, against the offensive lineman of the Sea Dragons. So that's going to set up a 2nd and 12 now for the Sea Dragons. Just 15 seconds left. They have still got one timeout remaining.
Right, because they win it. The Rams did though.
Trips right formation out the shotgun. They're on their own 45-yard line. Snap back to Nucci. To the running back. Out of the backfield. Looks like he's gained 7 or 8 yards back out of that. Just 10 seconds left now.
He's called June. Yeah.
3rd and 5. Just inside Battlehawks territory now. Trips left formation out the shotgun for the Sea Dragons. Snap back to Danucci. Drops it to the running back. Couldn't make a man miss. Steps out of bounds on a 3-yard loss. And it's going to be 4th down with just 5 seconds left. Will they come out to try and throw one deep, or are they going to play it safe with the punt? So they are going to go for it. 4th and 8. See if they can Hail Mary it into the end zone. There's only 2 seconds left on the play clock. There's no way they're going to get this play off. They do get the play off. Thrown over the middle. Hook and ladder play. A lot of work to do. Still throwing it around on the lateral. Breaks a tackle, but only gains 15 yards on that play. They had to rush the play because the play clock was ticking down. A couple of laterals, but eventually taken down. The Sea Dragons lead in this one, 14-9, going into half-time. It will be the Battlehawks that do receive the kickoff after half-time as well, with a chance to either cut into that Sea Dragons 5-point lead or retake the lead themselves. Both teams looked good on offense to start the game. The defenses have stood up over the last 10 minutes or so, though. So it's going to take a short break just while it is half-time. Just 5 to 10 minutes. And we're back for the second half. Hopefully you can join us for that. We'll see you shortly. So back for the third quarter of the St. Louis Battlehawks and the Seattle Sea Dragons. The Battlehawks have the ball to start the second half. They're on their own 18-yard line. Snap back to McCarron. It's a handoff up the middle. Looking for running back Hill. Gains 2 yards straight down the middle.
Oh, punch, though.
Bit of pushing and shoving after the play as well. Oh, it's Hill. It's running back Brian Hill taking on a Sea Dragons defensive lineman. Still some chirping going on as well.
There's 7 seconds on the play clock. 2.
Snap back to McCarron. Here's a handoff to Hill again. Eventually taken down after gaining 4 yards. There is a flag. We'll see what the flag is.
Referee's playing me. It's your own time you wasted.
So legal formation where the offensive lineman lined up. He didn't declare himself as an eligible receiver, which meant he couldn't then line up off of the line. So it's a legal formation, but the Sea Dragons have declined that penalty anyway. It's going to set up a 3rd and 5 now for the Battlehawks. It's that formation again. Empty backfield. He's got his 4 receivers out to the left, 1 receiver out to the right. He is looking left. He sets off running himself. He gets tripped though. He had open field, but a great ankle tap tackle. Because McCarron would have easily been able to run for a first down, but just couldn't keep his feet. Tripped over. And it means we're going to get a Battlehawks punt. So good opening stand from the Sea Dragons defense. And the punt is up. Returnable from the 30-yard line. Makes a couple of moves, tackled down around the 38. And this is where DiNucci and the Sea Dragons offense are going to start their next possession. So 1st and 10. On their own 37-yard line, the Sea Dragons. 5-point lead in this game at the moment. It's a handoff to Lindsay up the middle. Had to work hard just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Sets for 2nd and 10. So DiNucci in the pistol formation now. Snap back to him, looking to pass. Under pressure and dragged down from behind on the sack. Looks to have lost 4 or 5 yards on the sack. DiNucci seemed to have plenty of time, but stood in the pocket, pump faked, and as he was pulling the ball back in, was taken down from behind. So it's a good tackle by Wells. Sets up a 3rd and 15. Snap back to Zanucci. Scrambling around, throws over the middle, is caught and sneaks out of it. Pearson breaks 2 tackles. It could be gone. He's at the 30, at the 20, at the 10, and into the end zone. What a touchdown for Pearson. Breaks 3 or 4 tackles, turns on the Jets, and that will quiet this crowd down. A great catch and run from Pearson. Spins out the first tackle, makes a couple of players miss. And that is a Seattle Sea Dragons touchdown to extend their lead. Just showing a replay of it again. Danucci did well to move around in the pocket, finds Pearson a couple of yards short, spins out of a tackle, breaks one, makes a juke move, turns on the Jets, and outruns the defense for the touchdown. And a great start to the second half, just like the first half for the Sea Dragons. Takes them to a 20-9 advantage to the Seattle Sea Dragons now. And how many extra points are they going to go for? Also, Battlehawks are challenging. Head coach Anthony Becht is saying that one of his players was held. Let's have a look. This is a big call.
$96 we're looking at, or 90?
See, 96 or 56, I think that we're looking at. I think it's 96. I think he's saying he was face masked as he comes through. They're not going to uphold the challenge, which means that the touchdown is good for the Sea Dragons.
That's the thing, though. It's always worth a challenge because there's always holding somewhere, isn't there?
You have to call exactly where it is, though. He was changing between holding or face mask. So see how many extra points the Sea Dragons are going to go for. They're going for 3. 3 extra points from the 10-yard line. It's an empty backfield for Danucci. 3 receivers out to his right. Snap back to him. Throws down the middle. Slightly behind his receiver. It falls incomplete. So the Sea Dragons still lead 20-9 over the Battlehawks. So a lot of work for this Battlehawks offense to do now. Down 11 points. Need to put points themselves on the board on the next drive. See how many times they go to that empty backfield formation with 4 receivers to one side. If they keep on trying to work that to Aitman. But another great start. The Sea Dragons got off to a fantastic start in the first half with a 7.5-minute drive to open the scoring in the game with a 2-point conversion as well. Start of the second half, exactly the same. With a big catch and touchdown run from Pearson. Looked like he's going to get tackled 2 yards short of the line to gain. Managed to spin out the tackle. Make a player miss and then put on the juke move. And speed off past the defenders for the touchdown. And that will put the pressure on AJ McCarron and that Battlehawks offense now. It's going to make the crowd a bit nervous as well. 11 points down to the Sea Dragons. They've been in this position before, of course, the Battlehawks. They've come back from big deficits already in the XFL. But they won't want to fall too much further behind against this Sea Dragons team that have put plenty of points on the board in the XFL this season as well. So just while we're at the score 20-9, let's have a look at back at some of the score predictions that we had at the start of this game. So Pharaoh saying that be a DC. No, sorry, DC won. Sorry, I put the wrong thing up. Battlehawks would win 28-20. That could still happen. The Sea Dragons lead 20-9. It means that the Battlehawks would have to shut out the Sea Dragons from now on, but that could still happen. I went for the Battlehawks going back and winning 30-28. So again, could still happen in this one. Andy went for Sea Dragons 31-29. Again, could still happen. Still plenty of time left on the clock. Plenty of points to be scored. Adam went for 28-24 to Sea Dragons. Again, all quite similar scoring in terms of how many points can be scored, and all still possible results as well. So we have the Sea Dragons leading 20-9 over the Battlehawks. We'll see how this game progresses from there. Something that's always worth remembering with this Sea Dragons team is Danucci does have a mistake in him. He does like to throw an interception or two. So we'll see if that does happen today, or if you can play a clean game. Just got to protect the ball now, Danucci. Just drop the mic on her. And the kick is up. Returnable from the 10-yard line for Shepherd. Taken down around the 31-yard line. And that's where the Battlehawks will start. Needing a good drive themselves, and at least a field goal, you feel, on this drive as well. Get some momentum back. Let's see what the Battlehawks offense and AJ McCarron can put together on this drive. It is an empty backfield, but though it is 3 receivers out to his right. Snap back to McCarron. Under pressure. Escapes a tackle. Fires to the left side. Throws out of bounds in the general direction of Aitman. Did well to break a tackle in the pocket. AJ McCarron could have quite easily been sacked. Bought himself some time out to the left. Looking to hit Aitman on the left sideline. But throws the ball out of bounds. He's going to set up a 2nd and 10 now. So 2nd and 10 from their own 31-yard line. Trips right formation out the shotgun this time. It's a handoff to Hill up the middle. Only gains 2 yards. Neither team have been able to put together anything really on the ground so far. And a very important 3rd and 8 coming up. So here we go. 3rd and 8. Snap back to McCarron. Looking to pass under pressure and ends up throwing the ball down at the feet of his intended receiver. And it's going to have to be another punt. So the last 4 possessions for the Battlehawks resulted in 3 punts, and then obviously the interception as well before halftime. I said just before half-time, we haven't called Hakeem Butler's name in this game so far. I've got to find a way to get that receiver the ball. And the punt is up. Oh, it looks like they've connected with the punter here. That could be a roughing the kicker. Returnable from the 24-yard line. Tackled down around the 25. Surely that should be a penalty. See a replay of that one. The Battlehawks have already used their challenge, so they'll not be able to challenge it.
What? What, me?
As the punter's running downfield, he ran into Sea Dragon's defender. On first and 10, Danucci scrambles up the left for 4 yards.
Moves on from that.
They actually want to replay of him actually getting hit when he punted it, though. That's when his legs seem to get hit. You're not allowed to do that. So 2nd and 7. Snap back to Danucci. It's a handoff to Lindsay. It's a gap. So a decent run. It's going to set up a 3rd and short. So the St. Louis Battlehawks needs to see if they can step up on this play. It's 3rd and 2. See if they can force a punt, give their offense another opportunity nice and quick. Crowd is very loud again. Snap back to Danucci. Lofted down the right sideline. Dangerous looking pass. A incomplete, good defending. Those are the sort of times where Danucci has kept other teams in it by throwing a costly interception. Looked like a dangerous pass. Knocked down by the Battlehawks defender. And it will be a punt. So 4th and 2, it is going to be a punt for the Sea Dragons. And the punt is up. Returnable from the 30-yard line for Prohl. Looks down the right sideline. 10-yard return.
They're beating the crap out of him.
There seems to be some pushing and shoving on the Sea Dragons sideline. So 1st and 10 for the Battlehawks from their own 40-yard line. It's that formation again. 4 receivers out to his left. Finds Gary Jennings. Gains 7 yards for stepping out of bounds. So clock ticking, under 7.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter now. They're just inside their own territory. McCarron motions Jennings into the backfield with him. And he hands it off to him. Finds a gap and gains 5 yards. It's another 1st down for this Battlehawks offense. So again, it's that formation. Again, motions Jennings into the backfield with him. He's still got 3 receivers out to his right. It's a handoff to Jennings again. Makes a move. It's a first down and more. A 15-yard run. Neither team have been able to run the ball consistently well in this game. Really struggled on the ground, but the Battlehawks seem to have found a way now. Running an empty backfield. Motioning Jennings to stand next to AJ McCarron. Take the handoff. And he seems to have opened up holes. So again, empty backfield again for AJ McCarron. He's got his 4 receivers out to the left. They're down to the 29-yard line now. Snap back to McCarron. Pump fakes to his left. Scrambles out to his right. Lofted pass. And he had a wide open Aitman. Just couldn't bring it in one-handed. Absolutely wide open down the right sideline. It's like he tried to put too much touch on the pass. McCarron. Could have been a touchdown. But it's 2nd and 10. Second 10 from the 29-yard line of the Sea Dragons. Snap back to McCarron. He's looking to pass. Moves out to his right. This is going to be a block in the back. Penalty against the offensive line. He seems to be smiling when he's when he's calling something against the Battlehawks. The official seems to have a little smile on his face. There's a clear hold. So it's for 2nd and 20 now. Battlehawks all the way back at the 39-yard line of the Sea Dragons now. Trips left formation out of the shotgun for AJ McCarron. It's a handoff up the middle. Only gains 3 yards.
Yeah, a lot to do there.
So big play again, 3rd and 16. They'll want at least a field goal attempt out of this, the Battlehawks. Can't afford to get sacked. 4 receivers out to the right side again for McCarron. Snap back to him. Steps forward, under pressure. He's taken down. He looked like he managed to scramble forward right back to about the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a long field goal attempt from here, though, for Hageman. He's got the leg. So big kick coming up for Hageman. 54-yarder. He has converted a 59-yarder 2 weeks ago. Here we go. It looks good. A great kick from Hageman. Plenty of leg. Close to down the middle as well. Puts the Sea Dragons lead to just 8 points now. So back to a 1-score game in this one. The Battlehawks be looking to get another stop on defense and give their offense an opportunity to try and tie this game up on their next possession, or if they can create a turnover. Haven't had one from DiNucci so far in this game.
Well, I think we're
So if you are just joining us, we're into the second half of the St. Louis Battlehawks versus the Seattle Sea Dragons in the XFL Week 9. A big North Division matchup between these two teams, looking to force their way into the playoffs to face the DC Defenders in a couple of weeks' time. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our NFL or XFL content or when we go live as well. We produced a video this week focused more on the NFL, where we have a look at doing our version of the mock draft and how we think it's going to play out in round 1 in a week and a half time. So make sure you come check that video out. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, have the notification bell on so you don't miss out when that video does go live. We'll also be back next week for a live stream of the XFL. So please come and join us for that one. We'll be live streaming both of the playoff games, the semi-finals, and of course the championship game on the 13th of May as well. So make sure you come and join us for that. Let us know where you're watching today's game from as well and who your XFL team is. Is your XFL team still in with a shot at the playoffs or already through to the playoffs? Or are you like Andy and a Vipers fan, already eliminated? Let us know in the comments.
That's the second week.
So ready for the Battlehawks to kick it back to the Sea Dragons. Good game so far from DiNucci. 16 of 22 for 198 yards, 2 touchdowns, and most importantly, 0 interceptions. We're hoping he can keep that column empty in today's game. It'll go a long way to seeing the Seattle Sea Dragons winning this one. So the kick is up. Returnable from the 5-yard line. Tackle down around the 25-yard line, and that's where DiNucci and the offense are going to start. So the Sea Dragons back out on offense, just over 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Empty backfield for DiNucci. Snap back to him, throws over the middle. It's to Pearson, who spins out of a tackle again before heading towards the right sideline and close to a first down. That's how he ended up breaking off the huge touchdown run. Getting spun around in the tackle and somehow breaking out of it. Stays on his feet. And does pick up the first down for the Sea Dragons. $107 receiving yards for Pearson now. Step back to DiNucci. I think something went wrong there. He went to fake, hand it off. Seemed to be some confusion there as to whether he was handing the ball off or not. He's taken down on the sack. So it's for 2nd and 15 for the Sea Dragons now. Back on their own 30-yard line, the Sea Dragons. Fired in from DiNucci to Pearson again. And dragged out of bounds. After a 6-yard gain, Pearson looks like he's hurt on the sideline. Got thrown out of bounds. So he'd sort of get grabbed round by the neck and thrown out of bounds. But it's 3rd and 8. Snap back to Danucci. He's got a receiver wide open. He connects with him as well. 11-yard gain for Jackson. It's another first down for the Sea Dragons. That's just going to continue to quieten down this crowd. The Trips left formation out the shotgun. They're all the way up at their own 48-yard line now. It's a handoff this time. And does take it into Battlehawks territory, but there is a flag. So that's no flag on that play. You're set up for 2nd and 5 now. Sea Dragons just inside Battlehawks territory. Spread formation out the shotgun for Danucci. Snap back to him. Fires it out to receivers. Connected downfield. Close to a 15-yard gain through the air there. And now the Sea Dragons down to the 30-yard line of the Battlehawks. That will end the 3rd quarter as well. So the Sea Dragons again knocking on the door to add to the 8-point lead. So just heading into the 4th quarter. The Sea Dragons leading this one 20-12 over the Battlehawks. The Sea Dragons have to win today to keep hope their playoff hopes alive going into week 10, the final week next week. They need to win today. Hope that the Battlehawks lose to the Orlando Guardians next week. And then win their game over the Vipers on Sunday. If the Battlehawks win today, then they are through to the playoffs. Or if the Battlehawks beat the Guardians next Saturday, they are also through as well. So 1 out of 2 chances for the Battlehawks to get through to play the DC Defenders. Of course, in the other division, the South Division, the Roughnecks already through to the playoffs. And an opportunity for either the Brahmas or Renegades to join them next week. Tough matchups next week for those 2 teams, though. The Brahmas host the DC Defenders and the Renegades host the Houston Roughnecks. Be an interesting one, that one. If the Brahmas were to lose against the DC Defenders on Saturday next week, it would mean that the Renegades would be through automatically and they would be playing the Houston Roughnecks in that playoff game, which is obviously also the Week 10 matchup as well, which could result in them resting players. If the Renegades don't need to win that game to get through, both teams could end up resting players. I mean, the Houston Roughnecks could rest players in that game anyway. So we'll see how that one does play out next week. As Adam said, the Guardians are interesting. They have been, I mean, especially since Quinton Dormady stepped in at quarterback. They've been in all of the games, that he's played in. Obviously got the win, the shock win over the DC Defenders. And then he's been in another close couple of games as well that could have gone either way. had a couple of costly turnovers in those games, Dormady, but the games have been much closer. Seem to have found much better play on offense. And so you won't count them out against the Battlehawks. The Battlehawks have struggled at times. I mean, they're struggling on offense at the minute to get things consistently going. Only 3 points out of the last 5 possessions. So you never know. You never know next week.
They've all got the merch as well, haven't they? I feel like they're giving it out at the door.
Well, they've just released the replica jerseys, $189.
Do you think NFL jerseys are going to be that price then?
NFL?
Everything going up, isn't it? The only way I'll be buying ones is if Jackson goes to go Chiefs.
So 1st and 10 for the Sea Dragons. On the 31-yard line of the Battlehawks. Snap back to Danucci. It's a handoff up the middle. Only gains a yard on the ground. It's going to set up 2nd and 9. So 2nd and 8. Crowd trying to get loud again. Fighting from Danucci. Oh, it should have been caught for at least a 5-yard gain. It bobbles out of the receiver's hands. It's going to set up a 3rd and 8. So 3rd and 8. Big play coming up. Battlehawks be hoping that they can force a turnover. Snap back to Danucci. Under pressure, throws the ball. It's battered at the line. It's tipped and falls incomplete. That's going to set up a 4th and 8. And not an easy field goal from here. (13 for 14), Eberle. A 54 yards long. This is 47 yards from the right hash. There's a flag. It's a great kick down the middle, but there's a flag before the play. The debate where the linebacker shouted move. Oh, it's false start against the kicking team. He's going to make a 52-yard attempt now. Slightly hard. It was a great kick, the first one. Plenty of legs straight down the middle. Now he's going to have to do it again. 52-yarder from the right hash. Not a great snap. The kick is up and it's missed wide to the left. It's missed wide to the left. So the penalty has cost them. It was not a great snap. The holder just about managed to get the ball up. Head coach Jim Hazard not happy at all. He's furious. First of all with the call, and then obviously missing the field goal. And that still keeps it a 1-score advantage. The timing was completely off on the kick. It still had enough leg, but it skewed off to the left. But the Battlehawks take over from that point now, with a chance to go down the field and try and tie this game up. So 1st and 10, they're in that formation. Empty backfield. 4 receivers to the right. Set up screen to Prohl. Gains 7 yards. So 3 fourth-quarter comebacks this season for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Can they make it a 4th? So 2nd and 3. Motions Gary Jennings into the backfield with him now, McCarron. Still 3 receivers out to his left. Snaps the ball. It's a handoff to Jennings. Finds a gap. Close to a 1st down. Looks like he's a yard short. It's set up a 3rd and 1.
I haven't seen any quarterbacks' names.
So 3rd and 1. Clock under 12 minutes left in this game. The Battlehawks just inside Seattle territory. Snap back to McCarron. Try to set up the screen to Shepard. It is complete before he's hit down hard, but it is a 1st down. Gains 4 yards. So 1st and 10. Again, motions Jennings back into the backfield. 3 receivers out to his right, McCarron. Looking to his left, scrambles out to his left. Throws to Jennings out the backfield, who managed to gain 5 yards up the right sideline. The crowd want a flag for unnecessary roughness. For a hit out of bounds. I don't think it was, though.
Johnny looks insane.
So 2nd and 4 for the Battlehawks. They're on the 40-yard line of the Sea Dragons. Snap back to McCarron. Looking deep down the right sideline. First time he's really targeted Hakeem Butler in this game. Third and 4 now. Third and 4. Under pressure, McCarron breaks out of a tackle. Scrambles out to his right. Tries to hit a receiver at the sticks. It is Butler, but hits his hands and falls incomplete. Surely they're going to go for it from here. 4th and 4. They've got to. You can't punt from here, really, because if the ball bounces into the end zone, the Sea Dragons would have the ball up around midfield. So 4th and 4, 9.5 minutes left in this game. The Battlehawks have the ball on the 40-yard line of the Sea Dragons. They're in that formation, empty backfield, 4 receivers out to McCarron's right. Looks to Aitman, has a lot to do, and dives forward and cannot make the 1st down marker, falls down a yard short. It will be a turnover on downs. It's getting a little bit predictable now of what the Battlehawks have been trying to do for most of this game. Trying to get Aitman one-on-one. It's worked on a few occasions. It didn't work on that occasion. It was tackled down a yard short. And the Sea Dragons now have the ball in good starting field position with a chance to make this a 2-score game. So Adam switch allegiances from the Orlando Guardians from the start of the season. Is now going with the Sea Dragons. I don't blame you. Sea Dragons are an entertaining team to watch. Just didn't click right for the Guardians for the first half of the season. It seems to be much better now. But obviously completely eliminated at 1-8 with that record. And this one set up for another great finish. Just a 1-score game at the minute. With around 9 minutes left in the game. Sea Dragons lead 20-12 over the Battlehawks. Sea Dragons must win this game to keep their chances of getting through to the playoffs alive. If the Battlehawks were to come back and complete their fourth quarter comeback of this season, that would mean that they would advance to the playoffs with the DC Defenders from that North Division. And yet, maybe I'm trying to tempt fate. We haven't had a DiNucci interception thrown by the Sea Dragons quarterback yet. Had a great game so far. High completion percentage. A lot of yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But he's kept other teams in games against the Sea Dragons this season, throwing ill-timed interceptions. Will there be another one in this one?
But we end up with the game.
What, Patriots?
Yeah. So is Flowers a wide receiver?
It's like 5'9". It's like a Tyreek Hill type thing.
Thanks.
1st and 10. Deep throw by DiNucci down the right sideline. But good coverage. Falls incomplete. Sets up a 2nd and 10. Empty backfield for DiNucci on 2nd and 10 from his own 36-yard line. Snap back to him. Scrambles out to his right. Sets off running down the right sideline. And steps out of bounds. Looks like he's 3 yards short. Just over 8 minutes left in this game. A massive game for both of these teams. 3rd and 3. Empty backfield for DiNucci. He's got 3 receivers to his left. Snap back to him. Time in the pocket. Starts to scramble out to his right. Sets off running. And does get the 1st down. Good hard running from DiNucci again. using his legs to gain 7 yards. And that's a 1st and 10 again for the Sea Dragons. And that will milk more time off the clock. Looks like he's right up around midfield now, the Sea Dragons offense. Snap back to Danucci. He's a keeper from Danucci. Sets off running to his left, looking for the block. And it's another 1st down. Danucci fakes the handoff and runs out to the left for 1st down. And then mocks the defense, calling out who's got the contain. Looks like he's having fun out there, Danucci. So 1st and 10. They're down at the 37-yard line of the Battlehawks now. Calls the timeout just before the play clock expires. And the ball snapped into his face. Six minutes and 27 seconds left in this game. It's interesting in play call because now we know exactly what they're running.
Yeah. But surely now,
if they run the play that they've just called, they're running it left into the trips formation. So we'll see. We'll see if that's what happens.
Or maybe there's some secret.
Yeah. So just under 6.5 minutes left. Sea Dragons still hold on to an 8-point advantage over the Battlehawks. Let's see if they run the play as we just have heard it being called. So motions of receiver to the left. Now he's got trips. Will he hand it off to the running back and run to the left side? He does. There you go. Only gains 2 to 3 yards off that handoff. So 2nd and 7. Play the game clock, under 6 minutes now as well. They want to at least get a field goal attempt out of this drive. Try and make it a 2-score game. So 2nd and 7. Snap back to Danucci. He's looking to pass. Throws deep down the left. He has got a receiver broken free. And there it is. There it is, guys. There is the interception from Danucci. You knew one was coming. He cannot help himself. Throws the interception in the end zone. Done it every game so far, Danucci, and given the opposition a way back into the game. And there he is again. Just slightly out in front of Josh Gordon. Well located by the Battlehawks defender. just got to know the game. They'll do like obviously I'm not an NFL, XFL player or NFL player, or mega football player, but when you're trying to milk the clock down to kick a field goal, a chance to make it 2-score game, and then you throw the ball like that. It's 1st and 10 for the Battlehawks anyway. The ball pops up in the air, and I think it's intercepted. And I think the Sea Dragons have got the ball inside the red zone if this is an interception.
You just slapped somebody in the arse, sure, that's told.
Ball hits Shepherd and ball bobbles up in the air, and Thompson on the dive. Looks like he's brought it in on the diving interception.
Can't challenge him.
So that after Danucci throws the horrible interception, this could give the Sea Dragons the ball back inside the red zone with a chance to make it a 2-score game. They're just taking a look to see if Thompson did catch the ball. And he did. It's a handoff up the middle on 1st and 10. And a great tackle, and Philip Lindsay's flipped head over heels, but he gains 8 yards on 1st down. So 2nd and 2 from the 7-yard line. It's a handoff to Lindsay. Not getting back to line of scrimmage could be a half a yard loss. It's going to set up a 3rd down, an important 3rd down. And I imagine they're not going to want Danucci making a risky pass this time. Already clearly in field goal range with a chance to make this a 2-score advantage. Don't want anything silly here from Danucci. Third and 2. Empty backfield for Danucci. Sets off running himself on the draw and barrels his way into the end zone. Trucks a Battlehawks defender over who's still on the ground. And now Danucci's flexing. But that is a touchdown for the Sea Dragons, and that could be the killer blow in this game. Danucci waving to the crowd as well.
Jesus.
So designed QB draw from Danucci. The character, isn't he? So Kelly is up off the ground, the Battlehawks defender. I don't know how badly injured he was, or maybe he was just embarrassed that he got trucked over by Ben Danucci. Maybe some slight embarrassment there. But now the Sea Dragons lead 26-12 in this game. So 14 points already. See how many extra points to go for. Chance to extend their lead even further. And a lot of work for this Battlehawks team to do now. Could take one hell of a comeback from here. Just shows how quickly things can change. It looked like the Battlehawks offer the interception of Danucci in the end zone. It switched the momentum back in their favour, but the first play after the interception, pass from McCarron, hits the hands of Shepherd, As he's hit, the ball bobbles up in the air, and then the dive-in Bryce Thompson comes, intercepts the ball. And a couple of plays later, DiNucci on the QB draw runs the ball in, extends the Sea Dragons' lead to 2-score advantage, pending the extra points as well. Reminder, if the Battlehawks were to come back and win this, they would be the team that would be advancing with the DC Defenders from the North Division. However, if the Sea Dragons win today, they still need the Guardians, the Orlando Guardians, the 1-8 Orlando Guardians, to beat the Battlehawks next week on Saturday, and then themselves need to beat the Las Vegas Vipers on the Sunday. And it would be them that would go through to play the DC Defenders in the playoffs. Showing the play, the DiNucci touchdown again. Design QB draw. Chucks a player over in the end zone. So it's going for one extra point here from the 2-yard line. It's a handoff to Lindsay, who gets through, and it is a conversion. He's going to make it 27-12. That's 15-point advantage now to the Sea Dragons, with exactly 4 minutes of game time left.
4th and 15 coming up.
Got to score a touchdown first. So the Battlehawks, with it all to do, they've got 2 timeouts remaining and the 2-minute warning. Need to score a touchdown on this drive, and likely a conversion of a 4th and 15 attempt. And then scoring another touchdown to try and tie or potentially win this game. So the kick is up. Returnable from the 6-yard line for the Battlehawks. It's Shepherd. Tackled down around the 27-yard line. So 1st and 10. Empty backfield for McCarron from the 28-yard line. They're sacked on 1st down. It's now back to McCarron on 2nd and 14. It's a screen pass. A lot of work to do here. Does well just to gain a yard. On 3rd and very long. The Battlehawks have everything to do here. Clock right around the 3-minute mark. 3rd and 14 for the Battlehawks. Need a huge play here. Snap back to McCarron. Time to throw. Under pressure, though, and sacked down.
Jesus, took way too long.
Loses 4 yards.
How much time?
And now 4th and 18. And they are going to punt. It's ready to punt. And the punt is up. Returnable from the 30. Eventually dives down at the 40-yard line off the 10-yard return. That takes to the 2-minute warning as well. The Battlehawks only have 2 timeouts remaining.
It's the going line.
Again, how quickly a game could change. At 2012, Ben DiNucci is intercepted in the Battlehawks end zone. And it looks like the Battlehawks going to have an opportunity to go down the field to tie the game up. But one play later, it all changed again. Off of the interception from Thompson, it gave the Sea Dragons the ball inside the red zone. A few plays later, DiNucci runs it in for the touchdown. An extra 1-point conversion. The Battlehawks, then 2 sacks of AJ McCarron means they have to punt. And are now still 15 points down. And we're at the 2-minute warning. They will need a miracle from here if they're going to come back for 15 points down. We've got 2 timeouts. So go and stop the clock twice, which means at least another 30 or so seconds are going to come off of it on top of that. They'd have to work the ball down for a touchdown and then convert 4th 15 and then another touchdown. Looks like too much to do for the Battlehawks on this occasion. But we just keep things wide open for next week. And what it does mean is that the Saturday games next week, you've got the Battlehawks at the Guardians. If the Battlehawks win that game, they still will advance to the playoffs. It doesn't matter what the Sea Dragons do against the Vipers. However, if the Battlehawks lost that game, if the Sea Dragons beat the Vipers, they would go through to the playoffs instead of the Battlehawks. Then the other Saturday game, you've got the Brahmas hosting the DC Defenders. If the Brahmas were to win that game, it'd mean that the Renegades would have to beat the Roughnecks to go through. But if the Brahmas lose that game, the Renegades would automatically be through as well. So there's a potential that on Saturday next week, the Sunday games won't matter. If the Battlehawks win and the Brahmas lose, the games on the Sunday won't matter because the Renegades will already be through and the Sea Dragons would already be out. So the big games next week, Saturday night, hopefully at least one of those Sunday games is to play for. I mean, hopefully as a claimed Battlehawks fan for this season starting out, hopefully the Battlehawks get the job done next week against the Guardians. But then hopefully the Brahmas can beat the Defenders. So we've got something to look forward to on the Sunday games. So 1st and 10 for the Sea Dragons. They're on their own 40-yard line. There's a handoff up the middle. And it's for a first down, 15, 18 yards downfield.
Brilliant.
So a great run on first down. And that's going to allow the Sea Dragons to run even more time off the clock. So he stepped out of bounds, so the clock did actually stop. It's a handoff to Lindsay on 1st and 10. Looks like he might have just about got back to the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 9. It's a handoff to Lindsay, looking to break out and ends up just going down 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Had nowhere to go. As he sets up a 3rd down, I think that's a Battlehawks timeout as well. So 3rd and 14 now for the Sea Dragons from their own. So it's from the 45-yard line. 5 from Danucci, and it's caught for the 1st down, and that will end the game, really. 20-yard pass from Danucci. They'll be going into victory formation, the Sea Dragons here. The Battlehawks did call a timeout. I'm not sure why they called a timeout there.
It's not a fancy call, Steph. It's good.
So they're not kneeing. They're not kneeing. Pistol formation. There's a handoff up the middle. Breaks through the line. Looks like he's gained 5-6 yards.
Problem is, this is when injuries happen because people just think, fuck you.
This could be the last play. It's a handoff. Again up the middle. Breaks out to the right and tackled down about 2 yards short of the line to gain. And Jim Haslett, the head coach, has called a timeout. It looks like they are going to kick a field goal. I don't know why.
Is this a points thing?
There must be a reason they're doing this. There must be potentially a way
If it comes down to it.
that if both the Battlehawks and Sea Dragons finish on the same record, that's something to do with points. There must be. The Battlehawks crowd don't like it, but they are going to attempt the field goal with 5 seconds left, up 15 points to 36 yards. And it's just inside the left upright.
Fair play.
Hey guys, I'm with Coach Jim Haslett. I think I saw you smile towards the end of this game. Your team comes in here in a hostile environment with a lot on the line to try to keep those postseason hopes alive. What did you learn about your guys in this win?
Well, I was proud of the way they played. You never know what you're going to get from week to week, but they were locked in all week in practice. And
It's like Trent.
They're on a mission. Everybody's got a
They keep putting up, though, that
can help them succeed this goal in the next couple of weeks.
if the Battlehawks
So far,
win,
it's a great day today, and
then it doesn't matter what the Sea Dragons do. But then they seem to think that it's going to come down to tiebreakers now.
you could have handed off or pulled in. He had a couple in that game that he pulled in, had some nice runs. I think Ben's getting better and better and better every game. When he learns the offense, when he's comfortable with the offense, he's played really well.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations. Now I'll send it over to Don. All right, thank you, Tiffany. Yeah, here with Ben DiNucci. You guys backs up against the wall, half the postseason hopes alive, and you guys get it done. What's that say about this?
We've been playing good ball the last 2 weeks for whatever reason. Last week couldn't finish.
So full time, the Battlehawks lose to the Sea Dragons 30-12. The game was much closer than it looks there. But to be honest, the St. Louis Battlehawks have struggled in the second half on offense. Had an opportunity at one point in the game, down 20-12 after intercepting DiNucci. But then a turnover on their very next play resulted in a few plays later with the DiNucci touchdown to separate the two teams and send it to a 2-score advantage. So obviously they talked about this all the way through, that if the Battlehawks beat the Guardians on Saturday next week, then they will be through, no matter what the Sea Dragons do. However, now with the Sea Dragons opting to kick a field goal, even though they were 15 points up, they kicked a field goal with 5 seconds left to make it 30-12. We're talking about a fourth tiebreaker of offensive points scored. So it could come down to that. We'll have to wait and see next week.
That's it. So Battlehawks win, they're in.
So Battlehawks win, they're in. But then they said if the Battlehawks lose and the Sea Dragons win, then it's going to come down to tiebreak. But it wouldn't, because the Sea Dragons would be 7-3 and the Battlehawks would be 6-4. I can't see where it would come down to a fourth tiebreaker. Like the tiebreaker for me would come if they both
they're both on
were 7-3, because they both have beaten each other once. They'd both be 3-3 in the division. Don't know. Well, we're interested to see next week anyway. It seems to be if the Battlehawks win next week, then they're in. Otherwise, it could get all complicated. But we'll see for next week. But thank you very much for everybody that has joined us in the stream today. Really appreciate you coming and supporting us. If you can, please, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our NFL or XFL content. Also, hit that notification bell as well. It'll tell you when our videos do go live and when we go live on our streams as well. We'll be recording a video this week focusing on the NFL and doing our own mock draft ahead of the NFL draft in just over a week and a half time. So make sure you check that video out and give us your thoughts, whether you think we've got it right or what you think will happen in the first rounds as well. And we'll see you in that video and also next week for our XFL live stream as well. yeah, special shout out to Adam. Thank you very much for joining us again. Really appreciate your support as well. And Sea Dragons, you know, they're still in with a chance. Your second team has still got a chance of getting through. So thank you very much again for your support, Adam. Really appreciate it. So you're seeing that video or next week's live stream. Have a good week.